Good morning. Welcome back to our Croatian Homestead. Welcome to the farm. This morning is about 0 degrees Celsius outside. I did my chores and now I'm just getting ready or preparing some more food for the animals for this year. I mean, this will be the last food prep for this year, and then I can have the rest of the year off. While this is milling here, I wanna chit chat a little bit as well. This video I wanna speak about what we have achieved, what we haven't achieved, whether we did everything that was planned for this year or not, and the plan for the next year. I mean, we are towards the end of the year, so it's time to talk about that. I won't speak about little details that we did, but about the big one. And while we are here, I mean, the big one is the house. We have bricked up the whole house and the slab is up. The plan actually was to put the roof on this year as well, but that was not achieved. As you all know, we have had some issues with our trusses, as I have mentioned in previous videos. So, I mean, it's a bit of a fail, but we are still happy that we came to where we came. I mean, still took a lot of effort and money to get to this stage where we are now. The chickens are waiting for me to let them out here. Let me let them out and then we'll talk about them as well. So the plan was to go up to 40 chickens this year. We are about 23, 24, not sure how many we are at. So we have failed to expand our flock. I mean, some older hens have passed away or died. Some new ones have replaced them, but the biggest problem was the eagle or hawk. He's basically taken all our chickens that were meant to grow the flock and replace the flock away. So we have lost basically everything through him, or due to him, or to the eagle. Well, when the chickens are grown up and the rooster is there, he protects them. But when they're small, they have no chance. So I have learned something new this year. We turned the failure into learning, into some experience, I guess. Big thing I think I have achieved this year is making or cleaning up this room, preparing it for the food. We have nearly doubled our food consumption this year compared to the last year. And you know, having this area where I can store all my food and not think about it for a year I think it's a big deal. I mean, maybe we'll grow something or grow the flock, make it bigger, and then we'll need more space, but for now we are really good and I'm happy about it. The rabbits, we still have them. I haven't really decided what to do with them, but they were a big fail this year. We have lost quite a few. I'm not happy with the boxes that I made. I need to change them eventually, I guess. They were bought for my younger son. He wanted rabbits, and I think he hasn't even looked at them in the last year. So they are fail, and I don't know whether I want to keep going with them. This chicken coop or chicken tractor on wheels, I think was the really good thing that I have done. Really happy about it. I think I'll be making one more next year. I don't know how to call the geese success, planned or not planned, but we've got 2 new geese unplanned. I mean, the flock was not meant to grow, but we have 2 unplanned ones. But I'll say we had a good success as well. We had a lot of little goslings. I didn't even expect to have that many. So I reckon we have done really well with them. So this area here, see where that bush is there? from that bush all the way you couldn't even walk through, you couldn't even go. I have cleaned all that up this year. The excavator did the year before the hole here and cleaned up all the rubbish, but all that stuff was done this year. Really happy about it. Let me show you. So I've continued cleaning up here. I've got a massive pile of brush there that I need to run through my wood chipper, but I think that's the plan. That's the job for the next year. I don't think I'm gonna manage to do that this year. I've cleaned up all the leaves and everything, and you know, we're pushing slowly this forest. I mean, it's not meant to be a forest. We're pushing it back, but it's gonna stay, I guess, a forest. Found about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plum trees in all this bush and a apple tree. Didn't know I had them, but now we have them. And I have left 3 bushes of rosehip. I don't know how to cut them or what, but I'll leave them for this year, and hopefully we can make some tea or some jam out of it next year. We'll see. I have last week or so I have been digging the ponds for the geese. I have expanded the middle one, that was the original one, and added 2 more to the side. I mean, I'll be working more on it. There is quite a bit more to be done on there. Actually, I have shown this on my Croatian channel, on the channel members. They were the ones who could see me do that or dig that. But yeah, so the plan is to probably dig more next year, expand it, see how much bigger I can make it by hand, and maybe I'll get there will be an excavator in the budget, and then we can dig the whole thing up, but we'll see. I have been cleaning all this forest last year, and I've got a few branches down that I cut not long ago. But the main goal was for me to be able to walk through here. There's still more trees to be cut down. I mean, this is just so dense that it needs to go. But we'll see what we do with this next year, whether I get time for it or not. To be honest, I'm happy with the way it has turned out. Main goal was to be able to walk through it. I've got a lot of walnut trees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have been there's a few more down there. They've been just popping up, and I need to cut them down. I don't need this many walnut trees. I've got about 10 huge walnut trees. These little ones that are just randomly popped out, they need to go, but not sure when I'm gonna deal with them. What I have here is all this brush, but this is on the boundary line. The neighbor, he said, do whatever you like, I don't care, cut whatever you want. He's not worried about it. Whether I'm gonna concentrate on clearing that area up a little bit this year or next year or not, I'm not too sure. To be honest, I'm happy with this the way it is. Maybe I'll be just cutting or mulching all these branches, but I reckon this will be it for next year. We'll see how far we get. With the lawn, I thought, or with the pasture, I thought I lost the battle to it. But I have put the geese on there, and they have been culling it or killing it, cleaning it up really well. I have a feeling that I am going to. So the plan for next year is with the new geese to go on there again and do their cleanup. They have been doing really well. Really happy about that. I didn't think that's gonna happen. So really glad that I have put them onto the pasture and they have cleaned it out. While we're here, the plan is to clean this boundary line here. I've cleaned up from here today, but the plan is to go all the way up. Let's see. I have been cutting down the forest a little bit, or this boundary line a little bit. I just dropped the trees down, left them down. I want to put fence along this boundary line because the plan was to put pigs in the forest here. But I've got a couple of these huge trees that are right on the boundary line, and I feel really bad to cut them. I honestly am not sure what to do, whether I do cut them or not cut them. I do want to put pigs in. Maybe I'll put a temporary fence just for the pigs in that area. I really don't know now. I feel bad cutting this nice big cherry tree and a few other things. But then again, the boundary line should be clean. I don't think I'll manage to fence in this forest next year. But so I'm just thinking whether I leave it for now and see how I go and not think much about it, to be honest. Last year I had the surveyor put these in, or I was putting them in with him, so I know actually exactly where my boundary lines are. This way I haven't cut anything down, it's really thick. Whether I do any work on it next year, I am not sure. I will not put it to the plan, and I won't put it as an optional thing. I'll just say, if I get to it, I get to it. If I don't, not gonna worry about it. I'm just walking over the neighbor's property. It's a bit easier to walk through here. The big number one project for this year was this fence line. Really how it turned out. Really happy that it's done. We have also cleaned all this up. You couldn't walk here last year. There was no way you could walk here last year. I've got a few stumps that I need to cut down all the way to the ground so I can come in here with my lawn tractor. I will do that next year. But this job was a huge thing for us at least, and we are happy that it's done. Here where I'm standing now, here somewhere was supposed to be a barn for a few sheep and few goats. Help me clean up the property, but as you can see, there's nothing there. Probably throughout the whole next year there won't be a barn here. It's just not the plan. Priorities have changed a bit. There's still concrete posts that need to come out. They're still here. So you know, that plan hasn't gone through, I guess. I'm changing my mind a little bit around, but that's why it's like this, or it hasn't happened. Why there is no barn here is because I have changed my mind, changed my priorities, I guess. I was thinking hard about it, and I'm thinking to build a portable shelter for the sheep so I can run them around the property where I need them, so I can concentrate on where I need them. The barn will happen eventually, because I want to use the barn to keep them in one place during the winter. I don't want them just to go everywhere during the winter when there is no grass there. But at this point I think there won't be any sheep next year. Just not sure whether it's gonna happen or not. Don't wanna. I just think it's not time yet. Probably pigs will happen, and I'll probably move them around the forest as I need them to clean out the forest. But I won't say really strongly that that's gonna happen as well. Orchard was a big thing that has happened. It was an optional thing last year that I said, if I get to it, I get to it. The big obstacle was a lot of tree stumps in here, and then I managed to get an excavator for a decent price to clean that up, and now I'm really happy we have the orchard built, done. Probably more happy than building the barn. With my bees, last year there was only a hole made for the beehives, and I only had the 2 stands. I have made 2 more stands. I had 3 beehives this spring. Now I'm at 5. Plans go up to 8, no more than 8 hives. I have only managed to get honey from 1 hive this year, and we pulled out about 15 kilos of honey, which is not much, but that was more than enough for us. And if I put 10 kilos out of 8 hives, that's 80 kilos of honey. I really don't know what to do with 80 kilos of honey. Honey is just for ourselves and just to give some away to the friends. Some people say in a good year they are pulling out 50 kilos of honey out of each hive. To be honest, I don't even aim for that much. I'm happy with 10, 20 kilos a year. So the beehives will stay up to 8 and no more. While I'm here, the plan this year was just to cut all this down, and it's cut down. I mean, I really didn't cut it down. The electrical company came and did it for me. I did a little bit of cleanup. Now, actually, for next year I can plan to clean the whole thing out, get the stumps out and everything, and get this to be lawn or pasture. The plan was always to put the forest back behind these power lines where it originally was. So I'll work on this, putting these forest back where it should be. There's few little trees that are just growing from old stumps that I need to clean out and cut, and these acacia trees will all come down. I'll cut them down, pull them out, and that's where I've got 1 chestnut tree, and I'm thinking to plant 2 or 3 more, give them probably 6 meters of clearance between them, make sure they've got more than enough space to grow, and obviously I want to have grass growing underneath. I don't want that stuff to happen, so everything is dead. So the plan with the beehives, probably 3 more for the next year, and stop, clean all this up, get this to become pasture. Really happy with this, how far I came. Of course, all that area from that power pole all the way up to my fence line, basically to that other power pole, you couldn't even walk. Last year. That was all overgrown. The whole orchard was overgrown. You couldn't even see the top of these concrete posts. This year is all nice and clean. Really happy about it. With the garden, I have created it the year before, not this year, last year. This year it expanded about 30 something percent. I didn't need it to go any bigger this year, but now for next year it needs to go probably another 30% bigger. We will need the space. I'm really happy with the garden, happy with the way it turned out to be. We have picked a lot, we have grown a lot. Yeah, now it's time to expand it and grow even more. This is the future bit of the garden. That's why I have the chickens who are cleaning up the weeds. I've got about 20, I think it's 21 chickens in there, roosters and chickens. I used to let them out here I don't do that anymore. The eagle has taken two of my roosters, so I won't let them out anymore. I'm just moving them with the chicken tractor. Um, Sometimes I come in the afternoon, maybe an hour or so before dark, and I let them out and I stay here with them. But that's the only time they're gonna get out till they fully grow. I've got another 40 chickens in here. They're about a month younger than the ones over there. So basically I haven't failed 100% with the chickens for this year. This will be more than enough birds for the whole next year for us. They'll probably start laying in spring, and that will be really good. What do you think, how much are they gonna enjoy it when the pond is gonna become all the way to here where I'm standing? They'll have plenty of water to enjoy it. I forgot to mention about all this big area here. We had the excavator pull out all the bricks and all the rubbish. So we had 99% cleaned from rubbish. I won't say 100% because there's always a little bits and pieces popping up, which I can clean easily by hand, that's no problem. But the majority is gone. So we're back where we started the video. So we've done a lot of cleanup and a lot of building, I guess. And what wasn't planned ever, I have butchered and killed my whole pig for the family for the whole year. That wasn't planned, but I'm really happy, really glad about that. Now the future plan, this rooster is going next year to the show on the 4th of January and 5th of January. There is a show, animal show. I'm gonna be showing my roosters in Ivanec here in the small city. I'm gonna be showing off my roosters, 2 of my roosters and some of my chickens. Now the big plan for next year is all this to get cleaned up here. So they have finally made the sewer line. The sewer lines are finished, and I can connect to the sewer now. That's why the plan is, I'm waiting for the plumber today or tomorrow. He will be here so we can talk about getting an excavator in here, digging all the sewer lines and leveling and cleaning all this up So all this mess that I have created will be gone as well, and we'll have a sewer finally. We won't have to make a sewer pit. We will be connecting to the sewer, because that was always the hope, that we will be connecting to the town sewer, not have to make our own sewer pits. And the plan is obviously, while we can have connection to the sewer, to put a temporary toilet in the toilet, and something to wash your hands in. It was a really pain in the butt not having a toilet here, especially for females that came to the farm. Obviously I'll have to put a door here, and then it's gonna become dark there, so there'll have to be a light and a light switch in there. Oh, while we are with the electricity, we are still using temporary power there. Proper board will go on here on this wall, and then I'll change the few PowerPoints what I want to be do this year. I want this garage to be finished. Bought lights, PowerPoints, everything for it. I want to render it, paint it, epoxy floor, garage door, and obviously put this door in. We need more storage space. Here I'm putting everything in my little workshop there, and it's becoming a storage space, not a workshop anymore. So the garage will become the garage with some floor to ceiling racks, and so we can store a few things in here. I've got a manhole up there. Now if I don't manage to put the roof on by the time this is done, I will be covering that, putting a slight roof over it, making it watertight so the water doesn't come in here. I really want this garage to be done next year, and so we can use it obviously. The box is there ready. I've got brackets and everything. I've got cables. Everything is ready to start work on the electricity next year. So we have done quite a lot of work this year on cleaning up. I think I won't have to do as much cleaning next year, as we have cleaned up a lot. There still will be cleaning up, but not as much. I can probably concentrate on a few other things now. The plan is to get turkeys. There's native turkeys to this region here, which I want to get, and put a temporary fencing around my orchard and let them clean up and look after the orchard. I won't say they are gonna be 100% here next year, but it's a small plan. Obviously the big plan is to put the roof on the house, and hopefully windows and all doors. We're gonna aim for roof plus all windows and doors, but we'll see how far we get. It's a big expense. Also plan is to buy a new car next year. This one I have been abusing a lot. It's very hard to have a family car, and I'll say a work car, because we're still building a house and I'm abusing it really, putting all sorts of materials in it and everything, and it gets dirty quite quick and a lot, and it's a pain having to clean it up after I know it needs to be cleaned up for half an hour for my wife to go somewhere, and then I'll be putting materials back into it. So plan is to buy a new car as well next year. Quite a few big expenses, but they need to happen. The plan is also to continue with the geese. The geese operation went quite well. Actually, we were meant to keep 2 geese for ourselves, and we sold them as well. So we were left with no geese. So at least I'll have to get few more geese extra for next year. People have asked for more geese, so there will be a few extra geese coming this year. I was really afraid whether I'm gonna sell them all, to be honest, but it looks like we've done quite well with it. Also, we have raised 55 chickens this year, or just the chickens. We have actually sold to few families, and they are happy to buy them. I have first time shipped frozen chicken this year, and that went well as well. Now we're gonna concentrate on probably doing 100 chicken this year. Now I know I can send them by mail, and obviously work with the families that bought chickens for the first time this year from us, and buy, see if they're gonna buy more next year. I'm obviously gonna, on my Facebook page and Instagram, I'm gonna be probably putting out the post that I'm taking orders for the chickens, and that's where I'm gonna base myself as how many we grow. Probably put 10 or 20% more than what's originally ordered. And yeah, that's it. That will be the go with the geese and the broiler chickens. With the eggs, people are always asking for an extra egg. We don't have enough eggs to supply us to the people that want them. With the new birds that are coming, that are gonna be ready to lay next year, we'll see how we go with them and whether we need more or not. I also got asked for people to sell them the chickens, but my geese take priority. They take a lot of room up in my incubators. Actually, they take all the room up in the incubators. I have no room for chicken eggs. They're obviously the priority because they only lay eggs in the few months where I need them. But we'll see what happens with selling the actual chickens as a layers for next year. Whether I get another incubator or not, we'll see. I'll try not to, but we'll see what happens. I mean, they're not cheap. Probably don't need that expense, to be honest. If Calimero wants to sponsor me and send me a free one, I'm gonna gladly accept it. But otherwise, we'll see. We're gonna base ourselves on mainly building the house. Oh, one thing I have forgotten is I'm gonna try to get some water to my garden, drip irrigation to the garden this year. I'll probably work hard on that. And we are gonna open our small business next year, or small farm business next year. We are gonna be working on that really hard next year. My wife wants to stop working as an architect, and she wants to come back to the farm here and work with me and enjoy the farm life with me. So we are gonna work hard on that one next year for her to be able to stop working and come here. Now, Christmases are coming. Orthodox and Catholic Christmas. Merry Christmas to everyone who is celebrating, and Happy New Year to everyone. And may the next year be more successful to everyone than this year. A lot of happiness and health, I guess. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope to see you next year. Bye.